Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I have taken on a challenge to replace some of the caps on this Sony ICF SW55 model radio. I haven't got any experience on this, but I'm quite keen to carry out the work because I really love these radios. I've worked on the 100 as well in the past by replacing the cable. This particular model has an issue where there's no sound coming out and the clock is barely visible. So, having said that, let me just fast forward a few things so we know where we're going with this. So basically we need to remove the battery cover, so we're now exposed to everything. The screws that we need to remove is 1, 2, 3, 4 and one underneath battery cover 5. 5 screws. Once we remove the 5 screws, the case should disengage by itself. If not, it needs a little bit of pressure and it'll just come off. So after removing that, the case will come off. There are no cables or anything tied onto the case, just 2 clips for the alarm, and there's a little tiny speaker here, so we don't need to worry about that, and the antenna. So just remove the lid, and now we're looking at the circuit board. Now to get to the caps, or should I say the capacitors behind this, we need to remove this as well, the board. There are no screws on this as such. You might see some visible, but those are not meant to be removed. There are actually some plastic notches here that are grabbing hold to the circuit board, so we can actually remove those. So once we remove the notches, this board should come off. There's also a ribbon cable on this side in the corner that holds on to the front panel, so we need to remove that as well. I have already removed it at the moment, but if it's not removed, basically we need to also see if we can remove the front. So the front cover would also come off, just like that. Once the front cover is removed, we can see the board. Now the board over here is held with these clips here, so we can remove these clips by just slightly pressing them, just like that. And we can remove this if we want, but I'm not too fussed, so I'll just leave it on. Don't believe there's any screws to open at this point. We just need to make sure that there are 2 boards here pressed together, and we need to remove them both together with a little bit of pressure. The board would come off, and there we are. Now what we'll see here is there would be a ribbon connected to this connector here. Just remove it by disengaging the connector, pushing that way, and the ribbon would come out. Once that's come off, we can put that away as well, because we don't need to worry about this because there are no caps on this. There is, however, a battery, but I'm not actually working on the battery at the moment. If you want to remove the battery, that's quite simple solder as well, so that can be done. But let's go back to, now that we removed the front display board, don't need that. And now we've got the speaker. The speaker is connected with a little connector here that you'll see with the red and white cable. Just pull it and the connector would disengage. And what we'll do now is, as I was saying earlier, there are 4 or 5 clips here. Just make sure that we disengage those. Once those clips are disengaged, you'll find some black tape, so just remove the black tape as well, and this is now exposed. We will have the AM radio antenna threads connected to the board. You can take a photo and make sure they connect to the same place, or we can desolder them if necessary and then resolder them back on again, depending how you feel or for how you want to do this. This board is with the battery and the speaker, so we can let that be. Now if you're working the way I am, you can actually just probably best to disengage these wires because they probably would break off after working on it a few times, going back and forth. These caps, these are the ones over here. So if you can see here, let me just zoom in slightly. Yeah. So these are the capacitors all laid all over the board that need to be replaced. Here we are, all of these that need to be replaced. The values on the caps are already on them, so I think it's best for you guys to just look at the values and order them in, or you can go on eBay and find them if somebody's selling a kit or something and just use it, so it saves yourself some time. Usually those are the main parts that actually go very quickly in terms of age. Apart from the chips and everything else, they don't seem to sort of go that easily from what I've seen. So yeah, let's get on to this and see how it goes. So we're going to replace one of these caps gently. The best way to replace these caps is with a twist motion, I would say. So say for example we're looking at this one here, which I've got them replacement. I've ended up buying them. So we've got here we are. We've got a set of caps here, and these are the 470 microfarad, and that's 10 volts. If we look at that, these are 470 and 10 volts, so these are the same ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these out like that, and these are going to be replaced by one of these, and they are quite in a sort of tight spot. But let's see where the marks are. So that's the negative and positive, and that's where the line is to make sure that we've got the polarity right. And to remove these, usually it's just a twist motion like that I would do. Keep twisting it, and it would just automatically just come off without damaging anything else. So here we are, the cap has come off now. There it is. There we are. Yeah. So let's remove that. That would give us access to the board now, and we can now just desolder it and take off the remaining set of there we go. Now you can see we've got access to the pins. And I can use this soldering iron and then desolder all of those and hopefully install a new cap here. There is there's a line there that would tell us which way the cap should go. Yep, the black mark. So where the black mark is, that's where the line is straight, and then we'll solder that in, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to start work on those and then get back and continue, otherwise it'll just take too long. I forgot to mention that once we remove that, just make sure that we clean the board, because if the board is not clean, there may be some kind of a leak or something that is a residue that is left behind. So just better off cleaning the board with some alcohol and then basically just continue with the soldering. Hi there. Okay, I've put one cap on, that one here, but I had to take out the headphone jack to actually get access to the pin on the side because it was obstructing it, and I didn't want to, well, clearly there's no way I could actually solder that pin because it's so close to the edge. So I've taken this off, and as you can see it's very close. So if I was to put that in right now, push it back in its place, see how tight it is. Here we go. So there's literally there's no space to actually solder this cap on this side. You can see that. So we've got the area, the clearance is very little, so you can't put a soldering iron in there, and there's no heat gun or anything you want to use in this area anyway because there's plastic there. So yes, I had to disengage that and took it out. So that's just only desoldered 3 points, and then hopefully we've got more access on the other side, so you don't have to do that. I'm not sure about this one here. I might have to do the same again, But yeah, let's carry on and see how it works, and then hopefully we'll turn it on and hopefully it'll make some sense and it'll start working. So let's see how it goes. Hi there, just to update you, I'm still in the middle of replacing these caps. There are far too many and it's not as straightforward as one would like to think. So as you can see over here, they've all been removed at the moment. So the ones that will go in there are the 100 microfarads, 6 volts, and they would actually sit around here like that. So yeah, these need to all be now soldered back in. Just in the middle of putting them on, and once they're in, I'll show you once they're done. So yeah, they are pretty tight, so yeah, need to use a very fine tip soldering iron for that. Okay. Right, just to recap, they're all in now. So all the ones that were removed have been replaced with new ones. I hope the hard work pays off after I replaced them. But yeah, work to be continued. Hi there, welcome back. I've just put together after putting all the caps in, and if you turn it on, you'll see that all the digits are now sort of showing up there, and then you can press FM and you can tune in.
Few weeks, and as you say, there is significant risk to patients, but we have done everything that we can with our senior doctors
And we can
and
tune in different stations.
services we possibly can. And a significant impact on our elective programs, our operations and our outpatients, and it will take several weeks, if not months, to recover from that.
But anyway, so thanks for watching. I hope this kind of gives some guidance to some of the users that want to sort of go through the update of this radio. But thank you for watching, and until next time, bye for now.